Hey, good morning from Chili Pepper Garden. Out here early in the morning. That's when I like to be out here, when it's nice and cool. You don't hear as much traffic going by. Everything's still got that wet dew on it. It's just a fun time to be out in the garden, and that's when I like to do my projects. So I started working on this project today when all of a sudden it hit me that maybe I should stop and show you guys how to do this too, as a really easy way to put a covering over your raised beds. Let's go through a very basic but very effective way to cover up your vegetables. And it's really simple. I'll try to remember to put a link to when I bought these, which was a long time ago. I know they were on Amazon though. Out here in the side garden, this is the same bed that we just did the video on about switching everything over to the cold weather crops. So now we've got things like kale, and we got spinach and bok choy and broccoli and more kale, Swiss chard, celery still, which is kind of crazy. It's my first time growing celery. Now this bed is mostly for the chickens. Now we eat out of it too, but mostly the chickens, when you look at how much they eat versus how much we eat, yeah, it's definitely dedicated to the chickens. But I don't want the cold weather to take it away from me. I want this bed to go as long as I can through the winter. I would actually be very blessed if I could make it through the whole winter. And we will be doing some more permanent structure type stuff on these same beds, just to give you some different ideas of how to protect your crop. This way is really easy. They come in kits. They're extremely inexpensive, and they're the same type of material as the thicker rods that you would use to stake up your tomato plants in the beginning when you're first starting out gardening. And then they just come with these little quick push-in connectors, so you can put them in whatever fashion you want. And they make it real easy with different pieces, straight pieces. You've got bends, straight, more bends, harsher bends. So you can put them together any way you want. For the purpose of this bed, we'll be using a really long piece in the middle and the harsh curves. But for my horse trough beds, I use one that's more dome shaped. But that also means that it's still not perfect, because if you look at these beds, it's actually angled inward as they go down toward the center. So these are flexible enough that it allows me to pull in on the bottom, and it actually creates almost like an old chuck wagon cover. Once you go through and get them fitted to your individual bed, because they're all different shapes and they're all different sizes, there is a ton of ways you can choose to cover these up. You could go as easy as take an old blanket or sheet and at night drape it over it and take it off during the day. You can do plastic like I am today. You can do row covering, you can do insect netting. Once this structure is here, you can change it out however you want. And if you look on Amazon, there is a ton of different materials you can cover this with. Now the easiest way to connect them are these little clamps that they send you in the kit. I'm not trying to dissuade you from using them, but be careful, because the plastic that I'm using right now, and just because I already had it laying around, is pretty thin. So be careful. It gives it a spot where it'll rub and break. Same thing if you're using row covering. It'll do the same thing. Over time, that's just a wear point, kind of like your jeans, the knees of your jeans, or the elbows of your shirts, whatever it is. Just because it's bent so much, it rubs through over time. One easy... Hi, Rocky. One easy little upgrade: if you go to Harbor Freight, you can get these little clamps, and a lot of times you can clamp over it that way and pinch it on the inside. Rocky, we're trying to film a video here. Or some beds you can clamp down here, just roll it up, push it down there, clamp it. Another way that works really good for me is go on Amazon and get a spool of the elastic band. It's all wound up, kind of like what you use for sewing, but just an elastic rope, elastic string. You can also get in the military, they call it TA-50 cord, parachute cord. You can get it very flexible too, and you can just drape it over the whole bed and then tie one big piece around there, and it's flexible. And then it's really easy to slide it off of there and lift up the plastic when you need to get in. Today, because it's coming into winter time, I had this big old roll of sheeting. It's like what painters use to put on the floor when they paint your living room or your bedroom. It's not super thick. I mean, I don't even know what the mil is on it, but I've used it before and it works. If you're in the market already though, go ahead and just buy a thicker one. With a roll like this, just drop it on the ground. Pull everything up, and then you can pull it just like a paper towel roll. Put it over the bed enough that it hangs way down, so you have a bunch of extra on that far side. Then just follow it down here and give it a cut anywhere you want down here, but make sure you give enough that it drapes completely over the bed. Then it's as easy as just spread it out over your bed and even it up. And that's one of the easiest ways that I know. Well, I take that back. You could go without the hoops and just cover it up and uncover it as well. So I guess that would be the easiest way that I know. But if you're looking for some kind of structure, something that's going to hold it there, look nice, still protect your vegetables, this is the easiest, cheapest way I know. And we'll discuss more elaborate ways in future videos, but I wanted to get this out here quick because it's that time of year that a lot of us are having to figure out and think about how to make our vegetables last a little longer. Remember, you don't have to be a prepper to be prepared. And I just showed you one more easy, cheap way to be prepared. I'll see you on the next one.